New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Yeah, we were right. Trump's support of abortion has been in flux as recent as 2016.
In 2016, what he said?
He hasn't really said anything. He's just kind of somebody who Trump said in 1999, I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion. I hate it. I hate everything it stands for. I cringe when I listen to people debating the subject, but I just believe in choice, is what he said.
In
1999. So he's
Donald Trump.
He's Donald Trump.
Is this when Hillary Clinton was at his wedding? I mean, this man he's the biggest fraud of all time.
He was a political independent back there.
Oh, yeah.
Back then.
Sure.
But as he started to run and figure out his path to victory, obviously he's continued to lean more conservative because that's where the votes are coming from.
Well, no. Let's do the order properly. Once he started the birther movement and was like, ooh, wow, these racists get excited.
There you go.
Once the racists
They're
got
passionate.
excited, these racists really hate black people. This is incredible. I'm going to go with this. So then once he started the birther movement and went in that anti-Obama direction, all the other issues followed. And those issues that follow racist politics usually involve far-right Christian issues, Christian right issues like being staunchly anti-abortion, things of that nature.
Most evangelical Christians see the world and issues as black and white. They operate in biblical absolutes.
Crazy. Can you imagine living in biblical times, bro? There's stories. Good stories. I'm going to start making I live by Game of Thrones times. Dracarys.
Well, I'm really, really upset about this, too, because it is a sad day where we're still having this conversation. And it's really trying to, once again, create another divide and fragment.
Even more.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm so emotional about it is because I know even amongst Democrats and liberals, specifically black and brown folks, religion is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And abortion is a controversial issue.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I keep telling everybody, like, when we discuss things in the Latino community, yesterday I went down a rabbit hole of, like, reading comments and people talking about the Alabama ban. The Spanish outlets, and to read the comments, even though I expected it, I don't know why it surprised me. So many people that were, this
Same
is
way
great.
Alabama surprises you every time. Mississippi surprises you every time.
So backward ass thinking and comments. I'm like, what?
So you're saying, Laura, you saw Spanish outlets that were in support?
Not in support, just reporting. But the comments were mostly in support.
And these quote unquote supposed users appeared to be Spanish also, or of Latin descent?
All the comments were in Spanish. Yeah.
Oh, they were in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I said I'm pretty emotional about it, is because I don't think these people actually care about babies.
No, of course not.
Once the babies are born, they don't care. They only care about the babies when they're inside the womb. Once the baby exists in the world and is of color, no one cares about that baby anymore. They don't want any programs for that baby.
No, they care because they can put them in prison.
That's about it.
Now you went a step
and
further.
they can make money on them.
I thought I was going deep.
People are so quick to be like, there's always adoption. Do you know the rate of how many children are molested and have suffered in going through, like, the system? What are we talking about? Especially if they're black and brown.
And also a lot of rich white people who are in a position to adopt don't want to adopt black children. Either for racist reasons, or there are even people who aren't racist at all who just think, I don't know that I'd be good at parenting a child of color and that I would know how to do that.
Because they know the world is racist.
And they know the world is racist, and people always look at them. So
and it's harder work.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder work.
And then back to the comments, all of them mention religion.
Well, but that's why I bring it up again. I'm going to say it again, and I'm trying to have a logical approach to something that is clearly about emotion. This is going to be used as we get into voting in 2020. That's what this is about.
Of course.
This is a part of galvanizing religious folks on both sides around you want to say hot button. This button is so hot. The abortion button is so hot
It's scratching.
that in the 30 years I've been in radio, I don't even take calls about what people think about it.
Yeah, there's no point.
Because it's a never end, like it's no end.
No.
Well, but now the real thing they're going for is that.
And let me finish. And the reason that there's no end is because the real conversation is about individual choice. And the reason the Supreme Court left it up to the states to decide is because it should be a local conversation. But if they can get Roe v. Wade overturned and make the federal government pick a side, now the federal government can make your local decision a national decision. Is that making sense what I'm saying? And so now, as we go into picking who's going to be the next president next year, this time, this is going to be used, and you're going to have people who are very religious, whether they're Democrat or Republican,
yes.
lining up behind the candidate that is saying what they want to hear on this issue. Not the laundry list of other.
Oh, they don't care. I'm telling you that this. I get so depressed. A lot of the really, really religious Latino communities, they're anti-gay and they're pro-life, and they don't care about anything else. They don't care that there's children right now that are suffering, sleeping on dirt with aluminum blankets that
Not
have been
their
ripped
issue.
from their families. Oh, they don't care about those children that are already here. They just care about those two specific issues. It's disgusting.
So pay attention to what this is really about. Because if it takes taking away your choice as a woman, the ability to control your body for them to push their other racist agendas, guess what? They don't care about your body and what power you have over your own body and your own choice.
Nope.
Because this will cloud your judgment and your ability to remember that they took babies from families at the border, that there are open white supremacists in the White House right now governing. You'll forget all of that while this passionate debate around abortion goes on. You'll forget all of that. You won't pay attention to the fact that we're about to go to war in Iran. You won't pay attention to the fact
isn't
that
that ultimately what makes I kind of think I did a bad job, but that's what sort of makes me feel stupid about, like when we interviewed Van Jones last week. People get so into their issues that they let a lot of stuff slide because they have an issue. And I get their issue. But like I really let Van Jones off the hook with this.
because his issue is a good one, which is getting people out of jail.
Right, but he
Right,
also
right.
did get on TV after the president did the State of the Union and go, tonight is the night that Donald Trump became president of the United States of America.
He liked that State of the Union.
He said, but that was crazy. You just you totally legitimized him.
Yeah.
That's and I get you have a job you're trying to do for your cause, but you just legitimized potentially a white supremacist as having a great moment sitting in the White House as the president of the United States. Is that worth the cause? I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it.
But most people, when they vote selfishly.
That's
and
fact.
super fact. And most of us.
How
out
many
here-
how many of y'all vote against yourselves? I
Me?
do. You do. How many people really do that though? They don't
Most
want.
don't.
Most people don't do that.
Most don't.
Except for white Southern poor Republicans who don't know they're voting against their own interests.
Yeah, they're just stupid.
They're like, I like that Trump. There's something about him relatable.
Meanwhile, the farms are falling apart, jobs are falling apart. The 2 million truck drivers are going to be out of work, and nobody's telling you that your jobs are going to be gone in the next 5 years.
can you imagine?
Most jobs are going to automation. It's not China that's taking your jobs.
Fam, Amazon there was a headline that I read, 6,000 jobs at risk because they have these automated machines that are packing packages at a crazy rate. All those people are going to be gone.
And can you imagine, though, you show up to the Trump rally, right? You got your red hat. You got in your pickup truck. You got off work. You've been working hard all day, making little money. Family barely has anything. And you show up to a rally to support a New York business tycoon who had everything handed to him. And you're like, I just relate to him. It's like, No, as much as I think you're a dirtbag, you work really hard and you're poor. You don't have anything to show for it. And you think the guy you relate to is a New York business tycoon who had a real estate fortune handed down to him, then cheated, lied his way through life, never paying bills, ripping off everyone. And you're like, that's the guy I like.
And you'll care about none of that as long as he protects unborn babies.
Well, and make sure that the white race is on top.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that is a big part of that issue.
So,
We went deep.
we're in super deep. That's what we do. It's Ebro in the morning.